What's good, everybody? It's video time. Sitting out in the car, man. Just chilling. Decided to make a video real quick before I go back in the house. Just got done linking up with my dad, man, and just spending some time with my dad, catching up, man. That was much needed, man. Like, I definitely have gained, I feel tonight, like, I definitely have gained a better understanding, of why people miss their parents so much when they are gone. Like, that is something that I have never experienced. I've never lost one of my parents, and I don't know what it feels like. I don't know what it will feel like. I don't even want to imagine what that's like. I just know that a lot of people that I know that have lost, certain family members, their parents, mom or dad or both, a lot of times you see people that are like, at times, very, very emotional about it. And not having experience with it, sometimes it's hard to understand or have compassion for somebody that's dealing with something or, dealing with that situation if you've never experienced it. But, just from meeting with my dad tonight, I gained a better understanding. I'm not saying that I can relate, 100% to someone who has lost their parents already, but I have a greater understanding of why they feel how they feel when they think about the fact that their parents are no longer here. Because there's certain things that just, no matter what you went through, no matter how many arguments, fallouts, how many times you disappointed them or they were disappointed in you, or if they were upset with you or you were upset with them, you cussed at them, they cussed at you, or they yelled at you or you yelled at them. And especially when you started growing up and you started feeling like you knew something, you felt like you could tell your parents stuff. Like, you got bold enough to when you could, like, let your parents know what's up, cause you big now, so you grown now, especially you get out and get your own place and get your own responsibilities, man. You can really move into a place mentally of feeling like, I got this under control. And this ain't everybody's story, because some people have always had just wonderful, great, perfect relationships with their parents, or any family members. Like, you've had like great experiences with them the entire time, and that is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a wonderful thing if that's your story. But if you know my story, what I'm saying, my story has involved me. I done came at both of my parents before, and they weren't together, as far as raising me. I believe my stepmother is the only parent that I have never had like an argument or disagreement with. But like, my mom, my dad, my stepfather, like, man, I have tried to be a grown man with all three of them at some point. And the crazy thing is like, as I have been an adult and, like, just growing and starting to understand more about myself and my own faults and consequences and results that come from my actions and stuff like that, I have learned as an adult that all three of those people who, my mom, my dad, and my stepfather, all three of those people, I have needed them at some point in my adulthood. And I'm not talking about I need to borrow money. I ain't talking about can I borrow your truck. I ain't talking about bail me out of jail. I ain't talking about help me do this, help me do that. I ain't talking about nothing material, but I have needed all three of them emotionally since I've been a grown man with my own family. I have had moments with all three of them where I'm just so filled with emotion because I realized in my adulthood, something that I may have done or said to them, I can understand how it could have made them feel, and or how it could have impacted them. And these are parents, they probably not even holding on to it, or they could be holding on to it, but they could not even be thinking about it or remember that time 20 years ago when you were a teenager and you did this or said this. But me, I'm like, I think about those things and I'm like, you might see me pick up the phone and I'm typing up a long message, and I know you can call people and say certain things like that, but sometimes it's like that can be difficult when to verbalize or to actually open your lips and say it, but you do want to communicate it. You do want it to be known that, hey, I realize now as a parent myself, like, that I should not, and I should not have said that to you, or I should not have done that to you, and I'm sorry, and I have needed all three of them at some point, and I have just had breakdowns where I'm just like, these are the only people that I can talk to right now. These are the only people who know me. These are the only people who, can say the right words right now that I need to hear, and so I said all that to say this, like, tonight I gained a greater understanding of why people who have lost their parents miss their parents so much. Because this particular meeting with my father and the things that we talked about and the things that he shared with me and the personal moments and the real conversation that we had tonight, I couldn't have had this conversation with any other person in the world. There's not a person on this earth that could have had this conversation with me the way we had this conversation, to say what he said, to mean what it means to me as I can't even say young man no more. I'm 36, you know what I'm saying? But I still tonight needed my daddy. My daddy is the only one that could pull me up from the low place that I was mentally right now. And it's like, even though I'm making these videos every day and I'm committing to that, that's a commitment that I've made to stay committed to this. And it's like, for me, this commitment to these videos is real. And it's like on the level of a relationship, I'm married to these videos right now. So it's like, I'm committed to making these videos regardless of how I'm feeling. I'm committed to making these videos because I know that what I'm saying needs to be said, even if it's just for me to hear. Like, need a little bit of heat. It's cold outside. It's so cold outside. Like, my car is just cold from sitting here. Like, I gotta keep the heat going, but I know that noise sometimes is interference, but hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, I real talk, I called my dad yesterday because I knew that he would be in town today, and my dad, comes to town like every other weekend, and we don't always catch up, we don't always catch up. But I mean, I guess we didn't always catch up. But nowadays, we catch up. You know, if he's in town, we catching up. We gonna make time, even if it's for, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We gonna link, and we gonna see each other's face, and we gonna embrace, and we gonna share love, man. That's like, man, it's nothing like it. And it hadn't always been like that. So it's like, this is a thing that I've grown to understand why it's so important. Like there's a thing there, and it's like, in a way, I'm like a middleman, because when I have experiences, say for example, with my children, like I see these situations two ways. I see my child doing the thing and how I'm affected by what they're doing, and then I'm thinking about my reaction, or if there should be a reaction of me to my child based on what happened, or the incident, the accident, the situation, right? But in doing that, and seeing my child's behavior or whatever the action that my child took, and how I feel when my child does something that is not what I expect them to do, right? How I feel about it, sometimes it hurts, especially when you may have to, have some serious conversation with your children about their actions. It's got to get serious, but then I can also take a pause and rewind time to when I was a child and I committed these same acts, probably 10 times worse, to be honest. And I pretty much lived with my mom and stepdad for the majority of my life, and or at least the majority of my childhood. And I don't know if my stepfather was ever as seriously affected as my mom would have been, because she birthed me. I mean, I think he and I had a great relationship, because he was there. He was doing those dad things with me, to the best of his ability, for what he knew. He didn't have children before my mom, so he didn't know necessarily how to be a dad, and you have these high expectations, but it's like, the reality is, it's the same thing when I had my first child. I didn't know how to be a dad. It's like, you learn as you go. It ain't, I mean, I guess maybe there are books you can read, but hell, experience is really where you learn into that. I was lucky with my first child. Her mom, had a child before it, and as much as I was trying to be the man and be the boss and be in control of the everything, it's like, reality, man, if it wasn't for her, like, I would have failed the parenting thing, because she had so much knowledge, and she was so helpful, like, and she taught me a lot. She taught me how to be a parent. She taught me the things that I needed to do, and I mean, and that was based on her knowledge. She gave me a lot of how to. I didn't know how to bottles and what, like diapers. Like, I knew how to change diapers now. I did know how to change diapers. I did know how to change diapers. And if you knew me from Winston-Salem, I knew how to change diapers. I ain't gonna bring that up. Y'all know that. Y'all know the story. But I mean, as far as I never had to parent the diapers that I've changed. I didn't have to parent them. I could play with them, and they go home at a certain time. But I didn't have to worry about raising them, and feeding them, providing for them. That's a whole different ball game. And it's like, you don't know how to do it until you do it. So you can't even sometimes really fault a parent for how they raise or don't raise, because a lot of people don't know how to do it unless they've done it. And even sometimes when you've done it, it ain't like you mastered it. You just still figuring it out. So it's like, once I understood that as a parent, It's like now when I experience situations with my children, I'm trying to figure out how the hell am I finna deal with this? What do I need to do? I might be angry. I might be upset. I might be like, I can't believe my child would do that. My children aren't like bad. I'm just saying like, but they test me. You know what I'm saying? They test me in different ways. And it's like little things. It might be just something little like, not getting up and cleaning up your room. Your mama done already told you to clean your room. And now I heard her tell you to clean your room. And now here it is, 5 hours later, your room's still not clean. I know you heard your mama. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come in. Now I know y'all heard your mama. You know, that type of thing. But yeah, like I didn't know how to be a parent, you know, so I had to be taught how to be a parent. And then after I had my first child, when I had my first child with my wife, it's like, well, I know a little bit of stuff now. I can help you out with this thing this time. Now I know more. You know what I'm saying? I could be more, you know, a better tag team partner with you this time because I know more. And I can even assist you with some things. But, you know, I mean, women are just different with that parenting thing anyway, man. They just have a gift, you know, especially in the nurturing years, those baby years, those infancy years. Like, man, they just have a gift that they know what to do. It's normally us men that we don't know what to do. We gotta figure it out. Show me what to do. How I hold her. Tell me how you do that. You know. But you know, like I said, I see these situations two ways because I see it from my perspective being a parent to the child, but I can also reflect on me being the child to my parents. And like, man, some things I did was kind of pushing and kind of harsh. And I'm like, I really be kind of thankful that my children aren't as, I don't want to say bad, but I mean, as bad as I was. And I wasn't even bad, but I had that whole thing where once I was old enough to smell myself, you know, I was going to try to let you know how I felt about it, you know what I'm saying, to my parents. And, you know, I didn't always think about their feelings and me trying to tell them that I'm grown now, you know. And I said some pretty hurtful things to my mom and my dad before, and my stepdad, you know. And, you know, I have apologized to all three of them since I've been an adult, you know. And I still frequently send them long, and they'll tell you, I send long messages that I sit and be dripping tears typing them these long messages about my realization now as I grow and as a man that, you know, I see how certain things I did impacted you, and I just want you to know that I'm sorry for that and I have grown, and thank you for loving me through that. You know, thank you for loving me through everything I done did and said, and I didn't even respect and understand all you doing and sacrificing as a parent. But I get it now because I'm going through it and sacrificing as a parent. You know, I'm dealing with a lot of things that my children don't know that daddy dealing with. And daddy's still coming in to keep a smile on my face and stay strong for the children so that they're fine and don't worry, because daddy got to have it together, you know, for this, you know, the sake of peace and security. You know, like, dads bring that's what you got to bring. You got to bring that structure and that security. And, you know, mama gonna bring, I mean, you bring love too. Daddies bring love, but mama bring another kind of love. Mama bring that nurturing love and that, you know, that agape love. Mama gonna love you now. And mama gonna soothe you and rub you, and, you know, she gonna discipline you too. But mama has her own unique way. And, you know, mom and daddy are supposed to be different. They're not supposed to have the same thing. You know, they're not supposed to do the same thing. They're both significant, and they both have their place in what they do in your life. So, said all that to say, you know, I do understand why people really, really miss their parents while they're gone. But with that being said, if your parents are still here, cherish that. Cherish that, man, because, like, for real, I don't know that I would have even been able to make this video today, I would not have been able to make this video today if I had not talked to my dad yesterday to let him know I needed him today. Like, it was that important to my peace of mind and my sanity that he was the only person that could make me okay right now. My mama couldn't do this one for me. Not this one, not this situation. This not a situation that mama was gonna be able to deal with. This was a situation that I specifically needed my father. So I can only imagine that in this moment, what would I have done if my father was no longer here? So, not only have I gained a greater understanding of why people who have lost their parents really miss their parents at times. I mean, where it's serious, man. I see it on Facebook a lot. I know some people personally who have lost their parents, and I see what they go through almost annually, or even at different times throughout the year. But, whenever those anniversaries come around of the birth or the death of the parent, it's like it's really heavy on them. And, I wouldn't even say I've had the greatest amount of compassion, but it wasn't because I didn't care, but I didn't understand what that is yet, because I wasn't at a place in my life yet to know that aspect of my parents. Like, I didn't know about this part of my life and the need. It's like, you always know your parents, love your parents, all that stuff, but it's like, it's so much more to your parents like that. You know what I'm saying? For the way that I was brought up, though, I didn't grow up in a type of situation where I knew that I was supposed to maintain close relationships with my parents. And that's me being honest. Like, I didn't know. I thought that they were supposed to raise me up until I was old enough, and then I'm supposed to go and do my own thing so that they don't have to worry no more. Like, that's how I'm thinking. I'm not saying this is right. I'm not saying this is what it is, because my mama has always worried about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's still to this day worried about her baby, even though he's 36. And I didn't understand that for a long time, why she still want me to be her baby. I'm not no baby. I'm grown. I got my own children now, mama. But I understand why I'm still her baby, though. I get it now. Like, I totally understand now. Because even my children, like, these my babies now. I don't care how grown they get. They wearing lip gloss and shit. And other girl stuff they doing. They growing. And, I got to knock now before I go in the room, because they young women now. And, I used to be able to just walk in. But now I'm knocking, because they might be in another state, and it's different now. They're growing, and so I get it why I'm still her baby, and to my dad, I get it why I'm his only son. I gotta make it because I'm a reflection of him. Like, what all he went through as a man, even at this age that I am, like when he was this age, everything he went through as a man, and trying to find himself, and him having to sacrifice. And I used to feel like he ain't never come get me, and when I would be in Georgia, like, he ain't come pick me up all the time. I wanted him to come pick me up, but I didn't know the reason he couldn't come pick me up all the time, because he was out here trying to bust it so he could make sure he had for his house, and he was sending money all the way to North Carolina to my house. And he, taking care of a lot of things behind the scenes that I don't know. I don't live with them, so I'm thinking my mama do all the work. My mom and my stepdaddy do everything for me. My daddy don't never really send me no money. He don't really even come get me like that. You start to develop this thing with not knowing that, hey, he having to do a whole lot behind the scenes that I don't even know, but he ain't, as a man, he not gonna come in front of my face and down talk my mama or say she did this or she did that. He always spoke highly of her. He always was positive about my mama, regardless of whatever he was experiencing in his own personal life. He always spoke life about my mom and encouraged us as a family, even though he wasn't in our family anymore. Even though my mom had moved on, and this ain't even just to talk about all my personals and things like that, but I'm just saying there was a time that I didn't even understand that. I didn't understand his role and why he was gone, and I didn't understand that he was putting in work for a time such as now. That he don't have to work as hard as he used to work, and now he's in a much better position, but and I still have my mindset of that I'm even going to take it a step further than what he did, and I'm going to get it at a little bit younger age and get it under control. And it's like now I'm looking at my nephew like, I need to spend more time with him, because I got to make sure that my nephew is equipped and knows who he is as a man. And I know this don't went somewhere else, but it's just understanding the parents and the roles that parents play in our lives, man. And it's like, it's crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine what I would be doing right now, this very second, if my father wasn't here to come meet me tonight for the conversation that we had. Because if we didn't have this conversation, I probably was finna be like, and that's real. It's like I really needed him yesterday, you know what I'm saying? But I knew he was coming today. But I called him on yesterday. And even yesterday, just what he said to me on the phone was like, thanks. Like, thank you for calming me right now for how I'm feeling. But he like, just be patient. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll come get you. He said he was coming to get me. I'm grown, I can drive, but he said, I'm coming to get you. And, that was like the best feeling, because like as a kid, that's the conversation we used to have. When I come to Georgia, when I come to Macon, the first thing I want to do as soon as I get into my grandma's house, I'm so anxious to get that. Like sometimes I'm even, when they came out with cell phones, and and I'm really speaking about when I was a kid more so than a teen, but when I was a little kid, when they came out with cell phones and we were able to, that bag phone in the car, I used to be asking my mom in the back seat, Mama, how close are we? Driving from Winston-Salem, North Carolina down to Macon, Georgia. I'm like, I want to know how close are we. I even started learning, what you call, I don't even know the word I'm looking for. Like, I started learning, what you call them? Like points along the road, interstate signs. I don't know, signs. I started learning about the interstate and learning about mileage and how far we got to go. I started learning on my own because I wanted to know how close we are. And when I know, when we get to this point, when we get to Gray, Georgia, I need to see the phone. I need to call my daddy. I need to let him know we almost at grandma's house so he can come pick us up. And I'd be sitting outside, sitting on the porch, or, sitting in the window waiting to see his truck drive by to come pick me up, because I need to see my daddy. And tonight was really like one of those nights. I just needed to see my daddy. So I understand people who are no longer able to see their mama or their daddy. I understand that thing. I'm not saying I can totally relate, because mine's still here, but I understand now why that is a big thing, man. Because once they gone and you going through that situation and you can't gain access to them, like physically, that's heavy, man. But man, if your parents still here, love on your parents. Give them lots and lots and lots of love, because you just never know. And if your parents not here, honor them, cherish them, those memories, and just know that, you know, they always love you, you know, and you know, people have a lot of, I wish I would have been able to say this, I wish I would have been able to say that. Well, it's never too late to say those things, you know. Say what you want to say to people. Let people know you love them while you can. Tell them you love them. Just tell them you love them. If you tell them you appreciate them. People that are in your life, if you do love them, you do appreciate them, let them know. Let them know. Don't wait. Don't feel like you got to start on Monday. Don't feel like you got to wait until this time to do it. Hey, do it right now. Then you ain't got to worry about regretting that you didn't do it. And that ain't no mean thing, and that ain't being mean, because everybody, it wasn't a mean thing why they didn't call or talk to their parents. Sometimes you just be trying to, and that's what I feel like I've been doing. Like, I've been trying to not make them have to worry about me. So, like with both of my parents, I be trying not to bother them. You know, like, y'all got y'all own situations. Y'all done had to raise me. Y'all always, you know, did your best for me. I want to, right now, I'm not in position to just take care of y'all. But if y'all got y'all under control, I got me under control, and I'm going to hold me down, because I know sometimes, you know, you got other family members that you trying to help out. I don't want you to feel like you burning yourself out, wearing yourself out, helping all of them, and you got to help carry me. Like, no. You're not going to have to carry your son. Your son going to get out here and do whatever I got to do to make sure y'all don't have to keep taking care of me. And I'm out here trying to make sure I take care of my family, regardless of what my family doing. I got to be responsible for them, and I got to do this work no matter what it look like, no matter what it is. I got to push this thing to make sure I can provide for them, you know. But enough about all of that. I can't even really, I don't want to say enough about it. Like, man, that's a serious thing. Like, you know, love on your people, man. Like, love on them. Give them love. Like, do that today. Anybody watching this video today, when you done with this video, call somebody. You can call more than one person. Now, it ain't got to just be one, but call somebody and tell them that you love them. And then when they ask you, what you doing that for? Or, you know, and I don't know. I always just choose a random voice when I do a character. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but you know, when they ask you why, you say, because I can, and because I do. I love y'all, man. Peace.